The Apocalypse players present An Uncommon Burial. A Call of Cthulhu 7th edition scenario written by Danann McAleer in the style of M.R. James. With Joseph Chance as Dr. Henry Carraig-Muire, Dan Wheeler as Reverend Perregrine McCutcheon, Dominic Allen as Lady Helen Marjorie Bjarmia Potts, and Danann McAleer as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. Part 8. Portable Nurse.
A cliffhanger as I sift through the ash.
Yes. The warm ashes. Please, something solid still. Although I suppose you don't know quite how important it might be yet. Yeah. Love it. Well, in that moment then, I think as Carraig-Muire, you sort of dive in with your hands and sort of...
no, not with my hands. How dare you? Leading you. I'd like to make an official complaint about the Keeper.
I'd also like to say I wasn't going to suggest any hint of a burn being possible. I was just assuming
that is
hands.
Fair, overruled.
Feel free to get out your little fossil shovel or your you know...
Jesus, I've never been
ice cream scoop.
I've never been so patronised. If you didn't...
Your little fossil shovel?
If you basically weren't Irish, I'd have a fucking word with you, pal.
Yeah. Erin Gobra. You can say nothing.
You've escaped there. Using once again your charm.
Yeah.
So-called charm.
Russian? I thought you were Scottish.
Which only comes in every now and again, but it's handy when...
I'll accept that I may be rushing.
Sure.
I may be I may be a wee bit hasty, but I was going to use my wee hammer to sift, since I can't use my stick.
Yeah.
Since it's been
co-opted,
being used elsewhere
to batter. It's been co-opted into violence. Great. So yeah, I mean, so what? You're just going to sort of sift around under where the handkerchief was, see if there's anything solid. Give me a luck roll.
Oh, it's luck, is it? Fine.
Yeah.
My 28 luck. That's what you're going to test.
Yeah.
Is it?
It is.
Jesus Christ, I swapped them out. Guys, what is going on? It's a 97. This is astonishing.
What?
That's 4.
97.
I've rolled nothing below 90, unless there was one earlier that I missed that I did well on. 97, it's a fumble. It's a fumble.
Fucking hell. So you sort of you're sifting through with the with the rock hammer, and you do there's bigger bits, and some of them are like bits of the leather that have curled off the cover of the tome itself, and you do see like a little, oh, is that a fragment of wood, like something that's more recently fallen into the sand and the ash, you know. It doesn't quite look like the Triskelion, but you're sort of catching it up like that, and then you hear like a little breaking, and you realise you've sort of potentially sort of, in trying to lever it out with the hammer to sort of lift it out, you've cracked something very small. It might not be the end of the world.
The vial of anthrax that's built into it.
And a gas emerges, and you start frothing at the mouth.
I turn and I immediately rush, crab-like, towards the others, biting them at their neck.
Yeah. No, so I mean that's actually all that happens right now.
I think I say, "Oh, mother of God! Do you have tweezers?" I say, extremely angrily towards Perregrine, as if it.
Why would I have tweezers? I need a doctor.
As if it's his fault. I need something more delicate. I'm doing damage here.
No, Belinda says. The other two.
Oh, Christ, man.
He's got a cotton bud.
You do, don't you? Shit, that looks... I mean, damn it, that looks bad. Excuse my French, Belinda.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And Lady Marjorie.
That's right, I don't speak the stuff.
Careful. I mean, I'm torn between the two problems, and I don't want to leave Perregrine. I say, all right. I'll tell you what, I'll get my pocket knife out, as I do have a pocket knife on my equipment list, and I'll put the hammer away, which was my preferred item, and I will forensically. I'll say, I'll be with you in a moment, Perregrine. We must find this, because I feel like this is incredibly important. This item, as dreadful as I feel for Perregrine.
Yeah.
He's not bleeding out, so I'm going to...
So you start sifting through with your knife. The other two of you, are you still in this? I mean, Perregrine, I'll say, like, you're probably getting your voice back after the initial shock. Like, it's not like it broke anything. I mean, it took a lot out of you. It's probably, like, I mean, your ligaments, your tendons are probably fucked in the back of your neck.
I think it might have broken something. I'm on 3 hit points.
Yeah, it might. Maybe it's like a hairline fracture or something. Maybe it's...
That'd be a major wound, though.
You try and like get up, you really feel like, yeah, you might have to walk around like some sort of living statue for the rest of the scenario.
Yeah.
You're not sure what that thought means, but, you know, in general.
Yeah.
Like a scarecrow.
And Marjorie, you're still there. Club, correct me, in hand. Shillelagh, correct me, in hand. What is it again?
Trusty stout stick.
That's the one. And
it's like a club.
Yeah. Do you try and assist Perregrine up, or do you try and sort of help Dr. Henry with one of his?
Get up now, you I'm helping you.
No, it's my own fault, Lady Marjorie. I should have... I put myself in harm's way.
No, it's quite all right. I'm sorry I couldn't stop sooner. I was already had the momentum, you see, of the swing. And once the mind is set, the body follows.
Yes,
Come, and I plant the stick and bracing myself on it, I sort of awkwardly lean down and offer a hand.
Yeah.
I think I need to visit the school nurse in the sand.
What is it with us? We go to a bookshop, we find forgeries. We go to a hotel, they try to kill us with a burning hand. We go to a goddamn library and the place nearly burns down, and then people have fits of madness and try to destroy precious artifacts. We're cursed, I tell you.
I think we're a bad influence on each other. Maybe we should split up.
Maybe.
Well, I don't see how we're going to do any more damage than this.
I'll go to Egypt.
I'll go to Shanghai.
I know some people in Shanghai. Oh no, you've taken Shanghai.
Yeah, I was going to say, Belinda gets out a box of matches with the Stumbling Tiger bar written on them and just lights a small cigarilla. She doesn't do that, but as the porter returns with a sort of a decanter of looks like brandy or something, she sort of says, well, I think I know what the correlating factor is anyway, and moves back off towards the desk as he sort of pops it down with a couple of glasses and says, well, is everything under control now? What happened?
Hark at her with her 5-pound words, correlating indeed. A librarian, a woman librarian, I ask you.
I was just covering. I thought you were quite in favour of women being educated.
Educated, yes. Night librarians, absolutely not.
I thought it was the middle of the day, Lady Marjorie.
I don't intend for women to get educated just so they could go and join the workforce and do something vulgar like a job.
I can't keep track of what day or time it is.
I think it's the second day, it's the 27th, and it's late afternoon, early evening. It's around then. You haven't checked the time in a while.
Like maybe a feminist.
Is it really?
Marxist.
What were you doing all day?
Well, you had it's the same day as the interaction with Constable Putnam.
Yeah.
We've had the police, we've been prepared to send messages.
And then you've had the subsequent police thing. You've discussed whether or not you're going to go to Whitby.
Fair enough.
You've made lunch, you've made plans for your relatives, you've gone to the...
We've glossed over the moments.
We did a bit of glossing, and that was on me.
Oh, no, that's
We've glossed over the moments where we've been to the toilets. I've been to the toilet about 12 times. 12 times, and everyone is solid, I'll have you know.
But you were considering getting the night train tonight anyway, so that's still a possibility.
But the listener probably doesn't need to know.
I mean, you will probably have to change at King's Cross, let's be honest.
Yeah, but I thought we were going to get the night train tonight after we'd gone up to London and spent the afternoon looking around second-hand bookshops.
Let's just be thankful he hasn't brought the fog in, shall we?
Yeah.
Or any 9-year-old.
No, but I really do think I need to see a medical professional, or at least the school nurse,
Right.
if you don't mind.
I'll go and fetch some.
No, I can walk.
he sort of shuffles
just
off.
about. I'd like
all right.
medical care for which I need to be in a medical establishment, and I think the SAN will do as long as the keeper's feeling generous.
The
What's
Sam.
your name, Porter? What's your name, Porter?
My name? Bertrand.
Yes.
Bertrand.
Bertrand. Everyone starts with a B round here. Get a barrow for the man and put him in that and wheel him over to the nurse, would you?
Are you sure?
Dr. Carraig-Muire and I can sweep up the rest of the soot here.
Oh, all
Then
right.
we'll come and collect him when he's been patched up.
Well,
If that suits you, Doctor.
I'm very glad to help. I just can't believe I can't find this damn item.
I mean, I think as you say that, you do pick out something, and with your on the tip of your pocket knife, what you see is what was quite it's clearly the three-pronged, the sort of Triskelion sort of symbol snapped in half along the middle. And you can see it was already sort of flattened, like a bit flattened, but it had still retained its shape, but maybe become a bit more brittle with the flattening of the resin. And it may have been that final rock hammer pressing that snapped it. You're not sure. It might have already been in half, but you've got the two halves there.
All right, I have it. Here, let me help you, Perry.
A barrow, you said? You sure, all of you?
Oh, no, don't worry. No, I can take him.
Right. So what shall I do?
I'm sorry about the mess.
Well, just get to sweeping, I suppose.
I'm so sorry.
Fucking hell.
I never would have thought the thing would take to flame.
Is that how you talk in front of the students?
Yeah. This is why I've been demoted so many times. I used to be the dean. And he starts sweeping
I
up.
went to a school like this. It probably is how he talks in front of the students.
Yeah, it probably is. The Osterporters all tell everyone to fuck off.
I didn't go to a school quite like this.
No, I was going to say, fucking hell.
The University of York porters were like.
Yeah.
They fucking hated us.
Yeah, I bet.
We booked a room for the Drama Society. Oh,
Have you fuck?
Ponces.
But he starts sweeping up the ash and the sand around you, and there's the decanter of brandy on the table, and Belinda's wandered back to the thing, and there you are, sort of you with the remains of this dismembered Triskelion on your
Well, I'll slip that in my pocket.
Sure. And
I'll help Perregrine out.
As they're stumbling out arm in arm, I'm going to stop by Belinda and say, "Did you find what we were looking for?"
what was that again? The Beowulf thing?
Yes, it was. No, it was. What was it? It was your suggestion, and I've forgotten what it was.
Oh, that's right.
You said it would take you a while.
You
Any
said
other books
I wanted to see if Theodore Pugh had taken out any other books in the meantime. Well, I can tell you.
or indeed, if Robert Thompson had taken out any other book.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That would take another couple of hours. I'm more than happy to assist, of course. I can tell you that what I've discovered so far is that you cannot trust 3 academics to look around a library, because within 10 minutes they'll have started a fire and started assaulting each other. So I'm afraid no, I don't know if Theodore Pugh or Robert Thompson took out any further books.
Dare you? We're not 3 academics. We're 1 academic, a vicar, and I am a lady.
A lady of a widow.
I'm a widow.
Lady, I'm a widow.
I'm a widow.
All right, well,
Widow.
a widow, a vicar, and an academic walk into a library. You want to finish that one?
Who's there?
I was promised a joke.
Can anybody help me with this door?
Bertrand sort of goes, "Oh, all right."
I look
He
at
sort
Belinda.
of comes over with his pan, walks very slowly the entire way. He looks at Belinda too, like, and then opens the door for you.
I'm so sorry, Bertrand.
And I walk through first.
It's all right.
That's right, Lady Marjorie.
Mr. Russell to you.
Aye.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Russell.
Closes it behind you. So there you are.
I think we nailed that.
I think we did the investigation phase perfectly.
I think so. Yeah.
What a social nightmare. The hierarchy wasn't clear at all. I didn't like it.
Yes. But you find yourselves on the steps of Oster Library.
Purgatory?
Purgatory, the steps of
The Old
Purgatory.
Bailey.
Of the Old Bailey. Several months later, being hanged for treason. No, you're there. And,
Francis Killigrew, you are brought up.
To the sand. If it's all right, I could go on my own if the two of you have other business to attend to.
No, we'll stick together.
Stop it, man. I'll take you there.
We can't take any risks with these ruffians keeping tabs on who we're speaking to and where we go. You never know when an owl will come out of the...
Yes, you never know when you might be assaulted around here.
Shadows. Oh, God. And as soon as I say that, I cling to Dr. Carraig-Muire's other arm, so
he's just
trapped between the two of us.
Lovely. And do you have your bag with you as well, with your string tied around your wrist still? Are you laden, or did you leave that back in your room?
I mean, actually, well, yeah, there is that. Well, actually, this is probably the point at which I realise I don't have it then, because it'll be back in there, won't it?
Yeah.
And I go, oh.
See you at 5 a.m?
Lady Marjorie, I've left my bag. Would you be so... It's almost as if the beads of sweat pop, even as I'm talking about it. Like, up until that point, I was sort of fine. But now, as soon as I'm mentioning it. And I go, would you be so kind? I'm so sorry. I've left it back there, by the desk, I think. The desk that I was studying at. Oh, and I think I left my pipe there, and my matches. Oh, they might have burned.
You're using about 10 of them to light your fucking pipe.
Yeah.
Very good.
Like a burning torch of matches.
A Roman candle.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable, doesn't it?
You go back in and you see
Bertrand
and Belinda sort of placing these huge owl heads on... No, you don't.
I was gonna say...
No. Yeah, making out.
She takes
fucking like dogs.
She takes the Gatling gun out.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No, but I mean, so if you just want to go get patched up, Perry, I'll say that that's not too far to go.
No, I want to play every single step across this gravel in real time.
I'd love to, but I'm afraid we can't. I'll say that you managed to get there, and you.
Well, how does remind me how medicine works?
How long do you want to stay?
Oh, it's quite a big subject, Dan.
So, like,
It can't take
you drink it.
Can't take
It makes you better.
Medicine, can it? Is it like if I spend a couple of hours there?
Well, because it's not a simple first aid roll, isn't it? It's like if you. Yeah, actually, let's look that up.
First aid can get you a hit point, and then the medicine can get you a D3, I think.
Is that additional? Or is it one or the other? One or t'other?
I think it's one. You can do one after the other.
Well, let's do that. If you guys are accompanying him, I'll say, Carraig-Muire, you're able to retrieve your bag. No one's nicked it or anything. Your matches are burnt up, but your pipe and your bag are there. And they've made I think between Bjarmia, between the lady and the vicar, they've made so little progress down the road, you're able to rejoin them pretty soon, even after a cheeky one in the library toilets. Not a cheeky one, you know what I mean. You make it there, so yeah. If that's how it works, let's go with that. So
Let me just,
should we do a first aid and then
read it, if that's all right. A person treated successfully with medicine recovers 1d3 hit points, assuming that this nurse, the school nurse, is reasonably competent person. You're right. In addition to any
I pissed out of the mines.
Received.
Yeah, great.
She's probably your first aid. She calls for Dr. Mortimer. Dr. Mortimer pops over from the
veterinary farm.
Veterinary farm, and he goes and has a look at.
We carry on.
Yeah, inseminates you with sentient yeast.
First aid is a 70. Medicine is a 50.
Leading the witness, Your Honour.
She's wasted in this school.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Christ, let's get her on the team. Jackie, are you free for a few days?
I'll tell you what, though, when you ask her that, all you get back is a and you realise she's completely brain dead other than those two things.
As I say, are you free for a few days? Literally
no social skills.
Best NPC that Danann has ever created.
95 in dodge, and that's it.
It's just a walking healer. She's just got one job, a cleric.
What's that?
Yes, yes, please.
Jackie, we need you to come into the room about an hour after we've been in. It's the only way you'll be safe.
Every room.
Every room.
Just be about an hour
matter
behind.
where we
Stand
are.
outside. Stand outside until you hear screaming and then come in when the screaming stops.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's supposed to be a sort of Edwardian thriller. We're just a bunch of violent psychopaths.
I know, I love it.
Speak for yourself.
Well, you aren't, actually. To be fair, it's me and Miriam.
However dexterous she is
Marjorie.
with the medicine vials and the bandages, you get the impression you could put her in a case and just take her with you, and she wouldn't know what was happening. So it is an option. Please don't do that.
Portable nurse.
So yeah. I'll need to get some dice out, won't I?
Why are you getting Joseph to roll? He's rolled just 90s all night.
We don't need dice where we're going.
Doctor to doctor. I think you're studying her work and going, this is remarkable. Let's hope it is.
Doesn't look anything like a dinosaur to me.
I know.
That's true. That's true. I'll change my dice out for you. First aid 70.
And then a 50 on medicine.
It's better. I'm out of the 90s, but that is a 74.
Wow. Do you think there's a way you could convince her to push it? She sort of she looks really dexterous with the bandages.
While I'm watching her,
and then she just drops them because a bird flies into the window. And she sort of goes,
I look for children throwing birds. Is there anyone out there? No. There was an old tradition. Sorry, Jackie. There was an old tradition where people used to throw magpies at windows. When I was a boy here at Oster, did I tell you that I was an Oster? And so was Perregrine.
want bandages?
Oh, let me help you. I'll help you with the bandages. Here.
I think it's very unbecoming that we call you Jackie. We should call you Mrs. Weaver.
Oh no.
Sorry, I mean Mrs. Weaver.
Who's that?
Sorry, Nurse Weaver.
You have all the authority here, Jackie Weaver.
Anyway, look, I'm worried because he's beginning to bleed. He's beginning to bleed a wee bit, and I don't know where that's coming from. That's a hematoma. So, look, forget about that. Just
Come on, Joseph, please.
let's use some.
She hears bleed and rushes back from the window.
Joseph.
In this sort of, and she just launches at you with a bandage, and so that's the push.
Joseph. So something bad. So I lose another hit point, I guess. Something bad happens.
This is 77.
Oh shit!
I'm not making this up. I can't. I promised everybody that I wouldn't make anything up.
Absolutely.
Ever again. So that's a 77.
So
Jackie.
Strangles you with a bandage.
she comes up and she basically garrots you in her panic because he said bleeding. He's bleeding, and she sort of rushes over from the window where this robin or magpie has sort of flown into it and distracted her. She picks up the bandage and she just trips forwards again. She has no skills except medicine and first aid, and that keeps fucking up. And she's just there. Does anyone pull her off?
Aye. I'll try and pull her off.
Fuck's sake. Well, you manage it. She's not resisting. She was just off balance.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I've learned from Perregrine, though, that would be
Please don't.
a brawl manoeuvre, and you don't want to do that. You want to do a dex manoeuvre.
Well, I was going to say she's not trying to resist, but yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean, yes. In which case I will just pull her off. I'll just pull her off. And I'll take over, and I'll have a go with my 34.
So you'll pull her off, and then you'll take over with your 34.
See
Lovely.
if we can kill him by the end of the day.
Yeah, I would.
I've taken another hit point off, so I'm now on 2 hit.
Pull her off. I've got to stop saying it. It's so wrong.
And yet we haven't.
And then I'll say, no, I think maybe a bit more like this. I was in the Sudan. I served. I know it's a terrible shock to see a man of the cloth.
Not a fumble, is it?
And this-
Tell me it's not a fumble.
Perregrine at this point,
Don't push it.
recovering from the garroting, his neck still in absolute agony.
Please
Yeah.
don't push it.
Okay.
I'll have a go on myself. Get away from me. I'll do it myself.
No, it's a 42 on my 34. I don't have.
I've rolled a 33 on my 30, and I'm spending 3
No.
points of luck.
This isn't how we can't kill him like this.
You're 1 in 3 chance.
I tell you what,
I'm sorry, Perregrine. I'm sorry.
I think that's, Perregrine literally says, I'll have a go on myself.
That was my best roll of the night was 42.
Yeah.
So Perregrine, you sort of you
For God's sake, where's the
yourself
doctor?
for a moment. I don't know. Would you put a splint on the back of your neck or something? I don't know. But you sort of ward Carraig-Muire away, and Jackie's just stood there, sort of looking nonplussed as well. And you managed to gain back the hit point that she just took off you.
Calipers.
So I'd say that's a really good, successful trip to the doctor.
Nurse Weaver's very skilled. Let her have a look at you. She's got, and I pull out a couple of weird iron devices. One looks like calipers, the other looks like manacles, and I say she's got all of the equipment we need.
I do want her to try medicine, but I don't want Joseph to roll.
She immediately takes them from you and transforms them into it's like watching a Transformers movie. Her skill and dexterity with them is fantastic. But she's just stood there waiting to see if do you want her to try some medicine?
Is that the new one in brass?
Well, let's see. Let's give him a go with this thing I found in the corner. What's this? Dr. Coombs' mechanical masturbator. Let's give it a whiff.
Perregrine there no.
Oh, I think I've got it going.
You're rolling for Nurse Weaver.
No, this is about 30 years before the events of Bleak Prospect. This is the wooden one.
Great. So now I get to roll. Oh, that's extreme. So do I get
50%.
all three back?
What am I rolling for?
This has been exciting.
I'm rolling for you.
Jackie Weaver.
Right. So I was going to say, because my medicine's 1. Oh, well, you've done very well there. It's a 10.
Full 3.
Oh,
Well
excellent.
played, Dom. Well played. Oh, we have faith.
Yeah.
All those amazing Cthulhu Mythos rolls we've rolled in the past.
Puts a bolt through my neck. Another one through my forehead.
It was worth it in the end.
So she gets straight to work and she's sort of strapping you up. She puts you in something like a neck brace. She gives you a vial of something that feels quite potent but not unpleasant, and then she starts sort of working. She's using all of this stuff, and basically you can tell where there's a bolt through your neck, 2 out of your forehead. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I lost one. Yeah, I'm only 1 point worse off than before Dom bludgeoned me with the stick. Yeah, and
she sort of cuts your face off, inverts it, puts it back on. It's very extreme. But by the end, you're feeling far more yourself. By the end, you've been split in 2.
Now you've got John Travolta's face.
And now Nicolas Cage is coming. But I think, so you have gained back all 3 all 4 hit points, technically.
oh well, then this wasn't all in vain. No, this is a ward. That's why I felt it was so important to get it back. I'm talking while she's, screwing things into my neck. And
Just as your final recovery is in place, I hand you the broken. I retrieved it for you.
well, never mind. I'm sure that we won't be facing any evil where we're going.
I'm sorry, I didn't find anything about you.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, I've destroyed it.
Did you read about that, Lady Marjorie?
No.
An instinct, I see.
No, I had a very deep and real sense of the thing.
Aye.
Call it intuition if you wish. But it was very real. It reminded me of the events before in Robin Hood's Bay. 3 limbs, bad.
Well, of course, we had acres of virgin woodland.
The Oster bike sheds right now, I'd say. Behind the bike sheds.
Boys Club.
Ooh, that's interesting. You could give me another natural world roll, I suppose.
Lads at my school really did go and smoke behind the bike sheds. It's amazing they got away with it. But they did.
Same.
I think people just basically turned a blind eye. Ah, the 80s.
It was just a done thing.
We burned all of that in Norfolk for reasons.
That's more like it. Now it's all kicking off. That's a 12 on my 89 natural world. That's an extreme.
It was a push, really, wasn't it? It was a push.
Wow, okay. So that's an extreme success on the natural world. Good, because I should have said.
Did you lick it? Did you lick it to make sure?
And it would have had to have been a hard, really, as well. But But what you...
Lose 4 hit points.
Yeah,
No,
why not?
I'll tell you what I'll tell you what it is, actually. Is that as you take it, you realise that, like, where the resin has been flattened and where it's been snapped, there's a sort of, it's almost as if there's, like, a hollowness inside it, like, as flat as it is. It's like 2 sheets of paper sort of pushed together. And you feel there's, like, something sort of solid, like, you sort of tap it in your hand, and what comes out is quite recognisably a seed. And you realise that this thing is like something you'd find off a sycamore and you realise, no, it's an ash tree. It's an ash key. They call them keys, the seeds from ash trees, but it's not, because it's in a 3. Which isn't the case. That it's not. It's an abnormal. It's like I suppose the word mutation probably wouldn't be one that you'd use, but
it might be, right?
Might be.
That's Darwin, isn't it? Mutation. He talked about mutate. Did he?
Yeah, I suppose. Did he use the word?
I think so.
Yeah.
Are you checking that for us, Carraig-Muire?
I think we'd all know about it, wouldn't we?
In fact, I think it was, wasn't it that monk? What was his name? That monk who was a precursor. He was the one who the sort of the grandfather of genetic theory.
Yeah. Yes. So you think of this and you suddenly realise, oh, it's like an ash key, but it's like it's mutated, like it has an extra sort of strand to it. Mm-hmm. Like where it's grown in 3 directions where it seems it shouldn't have done.
So they normally grow in 2, do they? Well,
I think typically, but it's more the shape of it. It's that it's like in a sort of, the Triskelion symbol is not the natural shape for them. They usually droop down and everything. It's like this one is sort of grown out in 3 different directions, like sort of defying gravity, defying the way they would usually bend down. And yeah, you realise, oh, that's why it sort of looked like an organic shape that had been sort of carved in resin, but it didn't look carved. It's because it is an organic thing that's just been set there, but it's a slightly strange organic thing. Like it must be, a bit like a 4-leaf clover, perhaps. Like
it's a variation.
Sort of a variation.
So to be clear, it appears to be an ash key set in resin with the Triskelion carved over the top of the resin. No, you realise it looks like it's grown in these 3 different directions in sort of slight spirals, almost organically representing a Triskelion. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's a very odd specimen.
Yeah.
And also you can see why someone would find it and sort of think to set it, to think it was an important thing.
Yes. Because
it must be a huge rarity, like some sort of a mutation like that, something that has grown out in 3 sort of concentric spirals away from itself.
Yeah.
It is quite a remarkable thing to look at, even though it is now snapped and sort of flattened. You can see why it took you a while to recognise what it was.
This is organic. This is a seed pod. It's I've never seen one grow like this before. It looks like it's sycamore or ash, perhaps, but it's grown like this.
Like a 4-leaf clover?
Like a 4-leaf clover, or have you ever seen a twisted hazel?
Aye.
I never met her.
Well, I think I know what you mean. This sort of variation.
I think it's called a twisted hazel.
Well, it takes us straight back to the bay, doesn't it?
Yes.
I read something recently in an article about De Vries and his studies on the evening primrose. He uses the term mutation for mutability, one presumes.
Of course.
An old woman passes by the window and just goes, "Oh, evening, darling." Carries on. It was a slightly delayed joke about evening primrose.
Aye.
That must be twisted hazel now.
Yeah, there she goes.
Apologies, corkscrew hazel. It's just come to me. I call it by the twisted hazel is the the colloquial vernacular. No, it's
It's a Farley Wallop term, right?
it is, yeah. The same as we call those little wood lice cheese logs.
I think you're right. You do on that summoning that you do sort of remember the fact that you remember seeing the cut honeysuckle around the Reverend's cottage, and the fact that where it had been trimmed, it seemed to have grown back in sort of strange ways.
Holly does it as well sometimes. Yeah, yes, of course. I drift off into this reverie about different plants that sometimes grow back on themselves when they're trimmed.
Yeah, and as you drift off into the reverie and the other two look at each other meaningfully, Jackie sort of looks up and just goes, "I'm Jackie."
Yes.
Aye. There you are.
And then she gets up and moves out to the other room. You hear her clanking about in the kitchen, probably trying to make toast.
We should get out of here before there's another fire.
Yeah, I was thinking about lighting my pipe. Do you need to rest?
No, I'll be fine.
I look back to from Perregrine to Lady Marjorie, and I say, "Oh, right. Well, good."
And I just say, "Thank you. I'm feeling much better.
I think we should get that sleeper.
I believe we can move on."
I'll book us a cab over to the station. The next King's Cross, I take out my almanac and my pocket watch. I suppose it'd be my diary. It would be my diary, wouldn't it? Guide to the local train times. The next train's in 35 minutes.
It actually is, remarkably.
Well, let's be on it.
I mean, not that remarkably.
Let's be on it.
Jackie, could you fix us up some sandwiches?
You hear a clanging in the kitchen, and yeah,
Nothing too fancy. Just some ham, some onions, some cheese, maybe some asparagus if you have it.
Gentleman's relish.
A pudding or two.
Perhaps a Scotch egg.
A pork pie.
Maybe a fool.
Christ.
If you've got a fool.
the banging, the clattering increases exponentially. You start to hear flames and heavy breathing.
Well, if you're lighting, I'll pop round to get my pipe lit.
No!
If you look around that corner, you'll have to do something.
I'm not going to look around the corner.
Jackie in the kitchen. An octopus.
Jackie in the kitchen.
The mind boggles. I went to a very dark place.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
She's laying the eggs.
I think you do know that there's
exactly, the furnace. The lower furnace.
Oh God! The lower furnace.
Oh God, what have I gone here? Help.
I think it's safe to say she's pushed the steamer up against the door, and yeah, it's
Red hot now.
Oh, steaming. Well, I don't know if you've got any Chinese
Dumplings would be wonderful. Yeah.
Dumplings would be lovely. Some dim sum, maybe.
One of those millennium eggs, the ones they leave to rot for 100 years.
She manages to. She does rustle you up a basket of things, and
really kind of it.
And we'll see what those are as the game progresses. But I think it's,
would you tip the lady?
she.
All right. But just the tip.
Fuck me. Oh God. The problem is now I can't cut that, can I? Because it's too good. Fucking it'll Fuck.
I'm so tired.
Poor doctor, this poor nurse. I'm so tired of this.
Says
of life.
Jackie says.
She's handed you this fucking picnic basket. I'm so tired. Fucking hell. Okay.
I like to think that M.R. James would be proud of this.
Lovecraft would.
Lovecraft.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Yeah. We're back to our old selves. Lovecraft would love it.
Okay.
So you do you no you don't, but you do leave with with a basket of goods, and you make your way down to the train station and purchase tickets. And as the flames rise from the house you've left, you board the train, and all evidence is burned away. But yeah, you take the train to London, and you change, and there is a sleeper. So I'm assuming, unless you do want to spend some time in London, I know it was suggested.
Fucking hell.
I'm not averse to it.
I think we suggested that when we thought that stopping by the library,
I think
the library use role and then onto the train.
I think
Yeah.
the contents of these books is going to be of less interest to us than the current location of them. I mean, I'm sure they've got all sorts of
They do sound a bit dry.
exciting stuff in, but I imagine we might be able to discover that stuff through investigation, stumbling across it. And actually, hopefully
Good
they'll have
old-fashioned.
been entrusted to this Professor Miriam Dag. That was the implication I got, was that she might.
Miriam, yeah.
So rather than
Yeah.
delaying our trip any further and trying to find us another copy, I'm well up for going straight to Whitby, straight to the museum,
Yeah.
accosting this poor professor and finding out what she's done with the goods.
Yes. Quite right, too. Any arguments as you change?
I mean, I suppose only to play the advocacy of the wonders of the British Isles. How far is it from York to Whitby?
It's not terribly far.
Is York York is the closest, largest? Is it?
Yeah. So it would be like 2 hours maybe on the steam, is my prediction. Maybe 3.
Because there's that good library in York, isn't there? I mean, it's not
the sleeper.
not the British
You can get the
Museum.
sleeper to York, and then
Isn't that where we go through anyway?
We almost certainly would go through York, yeah, to get to Whitby.
I don't think it goes to Whitby. I think it goes to York.
no, exactly. You'd have to switch there anyway. Yeah.
So then I'm wondering if we get closer, pop out to check out the. You've got a friend at the Minster, haven't you?
I do have a contact there, and of course, what harm could possibly come to us in a library, I say, giving Lady Marjorie a meaningful look.
Little jaunt around York.
Well, probably nothing as long as you don't throw yourself on the floor again.
What is there you feel we could gain by putting our noses into another book?
I know it's not the British Museum, but it might be a compromise. Is all I'm suggesting. I don't know. I feel like you're the expert, Lady Marjorie, but the Saxon burial traditions are not something that I'm terribly familiar with. With my anthropology of 21, and I feel like this helmet seems to be a profound totem for these people, and they're murderous. And any advantage that we had. I say all of this obviously on the train or wherever, in conference. It's just the old instinct in me is, if you're about to do the viva or however we say it, you want to be as well informed as you can be before you then improvise your great oration upon it. Do you see what I mean?
Mm.
I want to get in amongst these folk as much as you, but
I suppose
this is our last chance before we get there. Unless there's that book, there is that bookshop in.
There was that
in Whitby.
Very interesting one in Robin Hood's Bay, of course. But, excuse me, Henry. I hear what you say, and believe me, I know that you are a brave man, and you've been through things that I could never even think about without shuddering in horror. But is it possible that you're suggesting visiting this library to put off setting foot in Whitby?
It was in Robin Hood's Bay because it was just before that boy rowed my steamer roughly down the bottom.
Yes.
Aye, of course. How could I have forgotten?
Really bashed it up something wrong.
You might be right. You know more about the workings of a man's mind.
I'm not sure I do. Like you say, you're playing devil's advocate. I'm perhaps ironically doing the same. What was that lovely phrase we discovered? Painting the devil on the wall.
Believe you me, I'd rather take action. I suppose it's old instincts. You prepare for your dig, by reading all the books first, because when it pisses down with the rain, you don't have time to read the books. I'm happy to go digging. If you'll excuse me. And I get up and I go to the toilet.
What do you think, Lady Marjorie? I feel I may have upset him. Do you think a visit to the library would be a good move before we set foot in Whitby?
I stare out the window silently for 30 seconds, then I get up and go to the toilet. Have a massive shit.
She sits there.
I just wordlessly let her in.
Some bastards in there. Well,
I haven't even left yet.
Pop, 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 pop.
And to be clear, this is by the window of King's Cross Station.
We haven't left the station. Yeah. I've taken the window down.
All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, so you are on the sleeper train. Because I genuinely thought you were discussing this.
It was a conference on the train. Isn't that's what
As
I
in
said?
you've got the train to London already. You've got the train
as
to
we're
London.
rocking forwards, but I mean, it doesn't matter. No matter what you say,
Yeah.
a 9-year-old will appear, or you're tipping a lady.
It may well happen. So this is you in one of your one of your rooms on the sleeper train to York, knowing you'll have to change there anyway, discussing whether or not to get off there and spend some time there rather than just change. I genuinely just wanted to get that straight.
We can't afford rooms. We've got berths. That's what we've got.
Well, what about a compromise? What if when we arrive in York, we'll get there, it'll be the morning, more or less. Why don't we'll have to change trains, there may be a delay. Why don't we then go into...
You're saying all this on the toilet to yourself? Yeah?
Yes.
Just to me, I'm stood there.
And I'm just outside the door listening.
yeah, great.
Yeah. Oh, the door isn't closed. I'm too paranoid on public transport. Why don't we... we may have some time to pass in that beautiful city. Why don't we take a meander simply just to pass by the Minster or the library and say, if they have copies of those books, if they could forward them on to Whitby, and then we can carry on our way, and the books will arrive at some point, we hope. Unless someone can confirm for us that those copies would be available at somewhere in Whitby, but I doubt it, because all they have is fish and chips and the Dracula experience. So perhaps that would be a compromise, because then we won't lose much time. But also, if those books if there are other copies of those books, we don't know.
They'll be winging their way to you.
They'll be an hour behind us.
Interesting.
That sounds like an excellent compromise.
Assuming those...
After all, we'll need some breakfast. I feel like I haven't eaten in about 48 hours.
At this point, the door opens onto this sort of door-open cubicle, and you smoking a pipe, and Perregrine sort of sat on the floor, and all of you sort of conversing, and a guy sort of staggers through and says, "Sorry, I'll give you a minute," and then shuts it again.
Aye. Well, let's to bed. In our berths.
Lovely. So you finish up in the loo, and you get to your berths, and the night you fall asleep. And could you all give me
just to interrupt you briefly, I don't know what a toilet on a train might have been like in
utterly
1893, or whether there even was one. But I'm visualising one of those, like, the toilet you get on a Virgin train where you press the button and the door goes.
But it's all in mahogany
round.
And the wainscoting just moves aside
like a motion sensor sink.
Yeah, I think it probably is.
And then, of course, we leave the cubicle, and there's a man who sprays us with a perfume, and I say, "Tip the man, Perry."
Oh, I love it.
At this point, I feel like I'm going to have to make a credit rating roll.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just seen what my credit rating is. It's 0. And I rolled a 67, so presumably the man roughs me up.
Yeah, he kicks the shit out of you, and you lose all 4 hit points again. No. So the toilet attendant sprays you with Tweed by Lonthoric, and you make your way out and go back to your berths.
Fucking hell.
There is a dull thought in my mind, and not dull, actually, I'm woken from the dullness as I'm glassy-eyed, and I say to Perregrine rather suddenly, I grip him by the elbow of his fine suit, no, of his worn suit, and I say, Pip.
Yeah. Yes.
Do we need to set watch? Christ.
No, Henry. I understand how you feel, but I think we're safe on the train. There's plenty of people around. I think we can sleep easy tonight. Maybe we'll reassess tomorrow when we're, there.
Surely these cabins lock.
Right.
Now, budge up.
Aye.
Squeeze in the middle. Room for a small one.
Big spoon or little?
More of a teapot, really.
The full set. Wow.
Short and stout.
And so you drift off together in one berth, somehow piled on top of each other like a tray of finger sandwiches. Could you all give me a luck roll, please?